No EICHEL? No problem. The Buffalo Sabres are 3-0-0 to start off the NHL season. It's their first 3-0 start since 2008-2009. Who would have thought that this would be the year for the Sabres to go out there and actually start winning again? Montreal, Arizona, and now the Vancouver Canucks. This Sabres team has gone out there and they've taken dubs left, right, and center, and they've looked pretty convincing while doing so. Now, I didn't watch the Arizona game, or actually I kind of had it on in the background while I was doing other stuff the day it happened, but against Montreal and against Vancouver, hey, this Buffalo Sabres team, they were the better team in both games. And for the Vancouver Canucks, this is ultimately a game where you look at it and you say, Thatcher Demko, man, it's not your fault. Not your fault in the slightest. You know, one of the biggest things that a hockey team needs to be able to do is that Bear Grylls meme, you know? Improvise, adapt, overcome. Say it with me now. Improvise, adapt, overcome. You see what's going on and you improvise. Okay, what are we going to do in this situation? You adapt. Okay, the other team's doing that. The other team is blocking our four-man stop at the blue line, drop pass to the back trailer, heading into the offensive zone on the power play. You adapt by changing your strategy, by changing your approach, and improvising a different solution, and you overcome by applying all of those fundamentals together. And the Buffalo Sabres, to their credit, did this wonderfully. The Canucks, I'll say it right here, they played the better first period than Buffalo did, but the rest of the game, it was all Sabres. They saw what the Canucks were doing, they analyzed those strategies, and they adapted their own strategies to combat that. Guess what? It's a 5-2 win that results as the reward here for the Sabres as they go ahead and get their third win in a row. The Vancouver Canucks are now below 500. They've only won one game on the year with a record of 1-2-1 now, with the two straight losses coming in regulation against Detroit, where they got goalied, and against Buffalo, where their goalie kind of got the brunt end of the stick. Thatcher Demko, man, he let in 4 goals, but it is completely fine because all these goals were Vancouver Canucks mishaps, dude. All right, let's go over the first period and just try to talk about what was actually good about this game first and foremost. So, firstly, no Hughes. Okay, no, that's not a good thing. Really not a good thing right there. But Quinn Hughes, it was a maintenance day yesterday. He wasn't playing here today. And I guess we're going to go out there and start saying that he's the reason why we lost? No, I don't want to do that. I never want to make it seem like one player's absence or presence will astronomically change the way that a game turns out if a team is already playing as poorly as the Canucks did in this one today. But Quinn Hughes was out, Brock was back in, so that's cool. Chason was out of the lineup for Brock to come back in, and as for Quinn Hughes, we had Hunt and Schenn replacing Hughes, as well as Kyle Burrows, who took the night off as well. You could feel the excitement of Brock Boeser coming back because overall, just having him as another lethal goal-scoring threat in the top 6 is very valuable, and we had that shown off right at the beginning of the game where he had his first shot, and it caught Craig Anderson. Yeah, by the way, Craig Anderson is a Buffalo Sabre. That's kind of funny, isn't it? But the shot caught Anderson right in the mask. He kind of was shooken up a little bit after that, but Brock had himself what was a pretty noticeable debut. The first goal of the game, though, was scored by none other than Bo Horvat, who gets a really nice feed from Tanner Pearson, who's fighting for the puck behind the Buffalo Sabres net. He dangles by like 2 guys while using his back as a shield, eventually sends it out on the doorstep to Bo Horvat, who is right there in the slot. He gets one by Craig Anderson. It's 1-0 Vancouver. Fantastic. However, that lead did not last for long, as Kyle Okposo, almost the very next play, I feel like, went out there and just casually took the puck in on the right side. He shot it over the glove of Demko. Boom, baby, it's 1-1. And you may be looking at only the goal and saying, okay, Lego, what are you talking about Demko not being a problem here? He could have saved that. Well, you shouldn't really need to rely on your goalie in that position. Why? Because you need to have 2 defensemen back. Where was the other defenseman, Brad Hunt? Earlier in the play, before Okposo received the pass to break into the zone, pinched up towards the red line to try to swipe at the puck as it was loose, and guess what? He made a bet, and he lost the bet. Hunt was way out of position, caught on the back check wide, and Okposo has a free lane to come in, shoot it, and score it. And honestly, look, if you're going to go out there and say the Sabres are going to get themselves a goal, I would honestly like to see Okposo get that, because he has been an absolute trooper the previous few games, against Montreal especially, so seeing this comeback story out of Kyle certainly is not unwelcomed in my opinion. But then, the Vancouver Canucks quickly got things back together. Justin Dowling gets a breakaway as he tries to dangle the pants off of Craig Anderson. It works, but his shot goes off the post. However, give it a few more minutes, and all of a sudden, boom! It's a tip-in by Justin Dowling. It is now 2-1 Vancouver. A great shot from the point by Luke Schenn, making his return to the Vancouver Canucks lineup. So, nice to see the depth pieces on the team getting involved for a goal over here, assisted by Schenn and Miller. But then the second period happened, and this is kind of where things started to break down. Now, there was only one goal in the second. It was a Buffalo goal, scored by Zemgus Girgensons, a tip-in shot from Okposo and Dylan Cousins. But this period was all Buffalo, 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 Buffalo. And I cannot stress just how sorry I felt watching Thatcher Demko have to go through wave after wave after wave of Sabres chances and Sabres chances, and then the Canucks would try to clear it. Nope, they'd fail because it would get held in at the blue line, and then even more Sabres chances. There was also a 4-minute power play in there as well that the Sabres could not score on because the Vancouver Canucks, and Thatcher Demko specifically, were doing their jobs well. It's just, immediately after that power play expired, you had yourselves the shot from Okposo, a tip-in by Girgensons, and it's tied 2-2. Now, at this point in the hockey game, Buffalo and the magnitude of how good they have been supersedes the magnitude of the Canucks, in my opinion, and I felt that at that point the better team was Buffalo in general. So seeing the score still tied up at 2-2 kind of gave me hope, Okay, the Buffalo Sabres adapted, We said it, improvise, adapt, overcome. They went out there and they fixed up their strategies. They caught the Canucks off on bad changes. They were able to catch them off guard and steal the puck from them. They were able to get offense. When was the last time we had seen Buffalo do offensive things without Jack Eichel? Okay, in the previous few games they did that as well, but still, it's Buffalo, and this Vancouver Canucks team, which is supposed to be a lot stronger defensively and have a lot more depth, is getting caved in by this Sabres squad that does not even have Jack. What are we going to do in the third period, man? Come on, Travis Green. We need to get ourselves some strategies going on over here. Let's get this done. Oh my goodness, Jeff Skinner scored. What kind of play was that? Skinner gets himself a really nice tight backhander that is saved by Demko, and then the rebound pops out in front where he roofs it over the down-and-out Demko pad. This was all Vancouver. Not Demko, it was everybody else because they left Skinner right by himself in front of the net. Tyler Myers was in front of the net earlier as the play was sent over into the corner, but as it turned around behind the net, you saw Tyler Myers kind of squeak forward and follow the play. Not only that, but you had his defense partner go as well. Juho Lammikko was then trying to cover out in front, but he's a forward. What is he going to be able to do as a guy in this position? He let Skinner go right in front, and guess what? It's 3-2 Buffalo very early into the third period. And then you give it 20 more seconds, and Tage Thompson does pretty much the same thing. The Buffalo Sabres get another chance on goal. It is stopped by Demko, and Thompson is right there whacking and whacking and whacking for the rebound, and it gets it to go. It is 4-2 off of two very poor defensive mistakes by Vancouver, leaving the front of the net wide open. You had defenders in this game trying to cheat for that forward pass, that's what I mean, and trying to go out there and be the first man out, come on. Try a little bit of a conservative style over here. The game was still tied at the start of the period. You don't need to be so desperate to break out of your own zone, especially in the manner they did so tonight, where the Buffalo Sabres were able to capitalize, reverse the play, and get everybody off guard because of it. Then add yourself the empty netter by Rasmus Asplund. The Vancouver Canucks also had a few good shifts once in a while. I definitely don't want to discredit that. Craig Anderson made some good saves on Niels Höglander at the end. Brock Besser, there was a really nice little backhand move that he did. Jack Rathbone almost got one to go near the end of the game as well. But to me, it's kind of interesting how the Vancouver Canucks are not able to play in that kind of territory until the end of the game and when they're down. You saw this in Detroit the other night. You saw this in Buffalo here today, where all of a sudden, once they're at the end of the game and they're losing by 1 or 2, that's when they start to create offense. It's like, okay, why were you guys not doing that earlier? Like, why were you having such a hard time breaking into the zone and actually creating chances on net? It's almost like the drop-back pass strategy that Travis Green keeps on trying to employ isn't working here. I don't know. There's a lot of other stuff to talk about in the world of hockey over here, but I'm going to leave you with that. The Vancouver Canucks ultimately lose 5-3 to the Buffalo Sabres, who played a very good game over here today. Definitely do not want to discredit them. They're 3-0-0 to start the season off for a reason. For the Vancouver Canucks, though, next game is against Chicago, so yeah, I mean, try to defend against Patrick Kane. You tried to do it against Tage Thompson and Rasmus Asplund and Zemgus Girgensons, but you failed. So I can't wait to see how the Blackhawks go out there and roast this Canucks team up later. Maybe I'm being too pessimistic. Is it too early for that? I don't know. Talk to me in the comments. What do you think? I hope you enjoyed this video. Trolls tonight. And I gotta go. We have ourselves my own hockey practice that I have to go to. Yeah, I kind of took it up again, so very happy to be doing that and getting away from this environment on the internet. So that's Trolls tonight. I think I already said that. And bye.